Hello, it's Dr. Rhonda Johnson. Today is Monday, March 4th, 2024, and my topic today is starvation from crisis-level food insecurity. Now, you may recall yesterday I talked about famine, which is the presence of widespread food insecurity that has reached a level where many people are on the brink of starvation. Now, famines are not natural disasters. They are the consequence of human action and human inaction. Now, this is happening in Gaza and other parts of the world, but experts say that the situation in Gaza is dire. So today I'm discussing starvation brought on by crisis-level food insecurity. Now, you probably know that our bodies are very resourceful. When we don't have food to eat, our body starts obtaining fuel that it needs to live by using our own stored fat and lastly muscle after prolonged periods of not eating. Now, the timeline of starvation is not the same for everyone. For example, children are very vulnerable to starvation, and children often die at double the rate of adults. And those children who survive starvation will likely face ill health for the rest of their lives. Now, did you know there are physiological phases of starvation from lack of food insecurity? Now, at first, our bodies will use up glucose or the sugar stores for its main source of energy. When you don't eat, folks, your sugar reserves, your glucose reserves are used up within 1 day. Then your body starts going into ketosis, burning up its fat stores to preserve muscle. Then the body starts slowing down its metabolism. Now, the brain and the heart will always get priority for energy. So lastly, the body will start to break down proteins and skeletal muscles, least essential for survival. So by 1 week, the bodies of most starving people will be actively breaking down skeletal muscle in order to obtain protein for fuel. So after about 14 days, as the breakdown of muscle speeds up, the body begins to lose heart, kidney, and liver function. This is what may ultimately lead to death from starvation. Unless eating is resumed, starvation always leads to death. Now, I want to talk about pregnancy because I said that children, pregnant women, and the elderly are most at risk. Well, starvation during pregnancy poses severe risks to the pregnant woman and her unborn child. It can cause anemia, a weakened immune system, and increased risk of preeclampsia, gestational diabetes, and complications during labor and delivery. Now, for her unborn child, starvation increases the risk of intrauterine growth restriction, low birth weight, premature birth, birth defects related to vitamin and mineral deficiencies, and there is an increased risk of neonatal death. So how long can someone live without food? Well, it's a well-known fact that females survive longer than males. Sorry, men. Other factors such as age, your starting weight, and how much water you can consume daily will play into how long someone can go without food. But in general, children, pregnant women, and the elderly are at the highest risk of death from starvation during famine. Starvation isn't pretty, and I know this conversation has not been pretty, but in our postmodern world, starvation should not be happening anywhere on earth, in my opinion. The right to food is a basic human right, and in my opinion, mass starvation should not be a weapon of war. That is my message today. Take care. If you comment, that's fine, and please share this message.